And I now recognize myself for 5 minutes for my opening remarks. Good afternoon. Appreciate y'all being here today. Today's hearing is part of this committee's continuing oversight of federal IT. This began with GAO's high-risk report and the designation of IT acquisition on that report back in February of 2015, and it's been a priority of ours ever since. And due to the importance we place on this issue, our committee staffs worked with GAO to develop a scorecard to assess agencies' FITARA implementation efforts. This bipartisan scorecard has been issued every 6 months, beginning 2 years ago on November 4th, 2015. The scorecard has evolved each iteration in response to GAO recommendations and stakeholder feedback. Scorecard 5.0 adds a 5th graded category to assess agencies' management of software licenses. We previewed this category as part of Scorecard 4.0. For Scorecard 6.0, a measure of whether agencies have established working capital funds as authorized by the MGT Act, which I was pleased to see included in the final NDAA, will be made a part of the scorecard. Ultimately, I'd like to see the scorecard evolve beyond FITARA implementation to more of a digital hygiene score for agencies. Adding megabyte implementation to this scorecard is a step in that direction. The inclusion of software licensing had a negative overall impact on the grades. Since the last scorecard, 3 agencies' grades increased, 15 agency grades stayed the same, and 6 decreased. If software licensing were not included, 8 agencies' grades would have increased, 14 would have stayed the same, and 2 would have decreased. So progress is being made, just not as quick as it should be and needs to be. Legacy IT is a continuing fiscal and cybersecurity risk to our nation. Though 17 agencies received an F on this new metric for the FITARA Scorecard 5.0, it is worth noting that each of these agencies has efforts underway to create and use an inventory of software licenses. I hope to hear from each agency today how they plan to improve their score in this area. I also hope to hear from Mr. Pauner his thoughts on where we will be government-wide on this metric in 6 months for Scorecard 6.0. Today's hearing features 3 panels with officials from the Department of Energy, the United States Agency for International Development, and the Small Business Administration. Their grades are D+, A-, and C-. As always, I'm honored to be exploring these issues in a bipartisan fashion with my friend and ranking member, the Honorable Robin Kelly from Illinois. I'm also pleased to be joined by Chairman Meadows and Ranking Member Connolly from the Government Operations Subcommittee. Could not have asked for better partners in the effort to modernize technology in the federal government, and I thank my colleagues and the witnesses and all who have joined us in person, or for those folks who are watching online, for participating today. I now recognize my friend, the ranking member of the Information Technology Subcommittee, Ms. Kelly, for 5 minutes.